has to be a community. There has to be involvement in the community. There has to be culinary foundations of our own set up here. There needs to be chef network. There needs to be, like I said, foundations. There needs to be things together that the community works as a.
Well, we need like a round table. We need to be taught. You know, it needs to be like what's tomorrow's the draft, right? We were just talking about the draft. We need to have like an anti-draft of like, don't hire this employee. You know what I mean? Like without having to deal with, without having to deal with any kind of repercussions.
Well, sure,
from the labor board. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's the real of it. Is there's so many fake resumes going around just so they can still collect unemployment. You know, and I mean. I don't even know why I mess with my email anymore because they'll send stuff in and then they'll never show up.
You have a successful name. If someone comes to me with an Aloha Snacks resume, they were cooking there for 2 years, I'm going to call you directly, check with the guy, make sure that's true. If it is true, I know because he worked for you, he's probably going to have some skill and know something because he gained something from you. Now, people with a Luce resume, fuck you guys, by the way, if you're watching this, so who I'm talking about. You walk out of my restaurant because you don't like something I said to you or you didn't get enough hours. I'm talking about the cooks, right? And they go and they want to be a chef somewhere else. Now, everyone knows Luce resume. Everyone knows that if you worked for me, you probably worked, and if you worked for me for some time, you learned something. People know my name. I have a reputation. But they're not checking with me. They just take it because this guy could be the biggest shitbag there was, or girl could be the biggest shitbag there was, but because they worked for me for a year, they're just going to try and soak anything they can out of that person. And who cares what type of person this is? Who cares why I fired this person? They don't even give a shit. You know, this guy could have robbed me blind. He could have done anything. He could have done anything he wanted in my kitchen, and they wouldn't even know. But because they're so desperate to have anything they can worth a fuck, that they're not going to look into it. Like you said, an anti-draft would have been useful because I would have told them guys, nope, they did this, and this. They're going to do it to you. Yeah. They ain't worth shit. And just because they worked for me for a year doesn't mean they weren't a pain in my ass for the year.
Yeah, let's get a website and let's throw some names up.
Yeah,
you know, right. I mean, who's the number one draft for not hiring them?
This is like the Facebook group of like, have you dated this guy? That's the big Facebook group here.
Yeah.
So women put pictures of guys on there.
Well,
so
the thing
this
is,
going to
you
be,
said it first.
have you hired this person in the restaurant?
The
that
labor
would
board
be
would look down
so
on this.
helpful.
They would.
But the labor board would look down on this, or some human rights activist or somebody would be mad at this. But again, why the fuck do we have to deal with it? So you're going to protect them, but you're not going to protect us. You're not going to allow us to protect ourselves from hiring these mutton heads, right? But because you don't want to hurt their reputation.